everyone, this is Dave from Plato's Cave with Meki. Meki's having some technical difficulties at the moment, and so no doubt he will join. I have faith. Rosella told me that I should have faith, so I have faith. But that's in the power of love, according to her lyrics. Meki and I broadcast from Australia for Revolution Radio on revolution.radio. That is the home to fresh ideas and conversations. And you'll find me in the chat room. If you don't know how to find the chat room, go to revolution.radio. That's the website name. And then click on chat room. And it's pretty easy. Like I said, I'm in there now. I've been there all day and absolutely love it. I was listening to a few shows today. I actually had it on during the day. I don't normally, because I'm nowhere near a computer for the most part, but I was today, and good for me, hearing a whole bunch of shows that I don't normally catch up with. The website also is the place to get your merchandise from the station that makes it, and it's a way of helping. You donating to the station by purchasing some merchandise for yourself, you get something in return. However, if you're just donating, you already got something in return. That's what you did. So it's not awful. If you can't donate, we understand. I mean, I'm in that position right now. I can't donate, but I donate my time. So if anyone that you know could donate some money towards the station to keep it running, that'd be fantastic. This is Plato's Cave. I forgot to do the brand. You can tune into us online on your smart device directly via an app, or you can simply listen at home on a Grace tabletop digital radio. I got too Australian then for a minute. Now, you can access the station's archives for free, which I did today. I actually downloaded, let me have a look. It was Lovespiracy by Trinity. I was listening to a show from, goodness, when was it? The 9th of December. And not bad. She's new to the station, did a good job, talks about a bunch of things there, and everyone has to start at some point. I don't know her background. I haven't heard much of the show enough to learn anything about her, but it's worth listening. I dare you to find something that you like in the archives. Plenty of host shows out there. Solaris Blue Raven is one that you'll enjoy. You should enjoy Shiny Side Out. I don't know why. I think that's because that's my other show. Meki and I do two different shows, Plato's Cave and shameless cross-promotion, Shiny Side Out as well. Now, Meki and I, hopefully his Skype will come good any minute, and I'll tell you that both Meki and I are broadcasting I'm from Darkinjung country and Meki is from Daruk country, and we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land from whence we broadcast. Anyway, I wanted to immediately talk about a topic that I think, firstly, I'll try again. Firstly, I was trying to get some information on the drones. You don't know about the drones. By the way, Meki, it says unavailable. You don't know about the drones. The government in the US seems to know about the drones, but they could only talk about that in a skiff, which is basically a secure forum in which they can discuss restricted topics in a level of security that's pertinent to their classification. I understand what that means. But if it's only domestic drones and human-powered flight, then why the secrecy? A person asked that, and I've seen the video of that. A person asked, and basically the answer was, well, I don't have the documentation of that about that skiff, so I can't talk to it. Like, I can't talk about it. I don't have the detail, and that's it. And I'd like to get a question from the other side of the room. Ha! Wow, he looks so uncomfortable. He did the eyes closed blinking thing for an extended period of time before he came up with the answer. That's usually someone scrambling outside of their control to find something to say on a topic. And I thought that was really funny. It's the best question and it does need to be answered. Michio Kaku was saying that the government does know what they are. He can't talk about it, but that the government does know. He says, how could the government not know what they are? If they've not captured one, then how can they make any claim that they know what it is unless they've actually, they've got one. They're making claims that just don't seem to be right. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. Wherever you are, wherever you're listening. It does my head in. Oh, I can invite someone to the call. No, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to add Meki. I can just drag him into it. That should work. That used to work. No, that doesn't seem to work anymore. Alright, how about if I manage the group and then add participants from there? There we go. Let me try and add him again. It says the 3 participants. Oh. See, I'm trying to go to the call, and I'm trying to call Meki, and it's just not allowing me to. I can see that Meki's not on the call. No. Well, fingers crossed his Skype comes good. He might have to restart his whole machine, and, well, we've been there before, haven't we, people? Okay, so I had a conversation with my friends on Christmas morning about the drones. Oh, Dave, tell me, he says, what I'm going to ask? And I go, yeah, sure. Yay, Meki! Can't hear you, buddy. Muted.
Have I been talking to myself for the last 10 minutes?
Yes, you have. You are now here.
Because I was connected to the station.
Well, that's funny because I've had the station the whole time.
Yeah, but when I called in, I knocked you off.
Oh, that's
you're
bizarre.
on hold, so I was on, you were not.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I've got a copy of it streaming, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but right now we're not broadcasting.
We should be broadcasting now.
Well, no, because I joined you. Let me see.
Well, it still shows me as being active with the station. It doesn't show me being on hold with it.
For some reason. Either way, let's just go with it. No, we're not broadcasting. We're not. Not now. Okay, that's interesting.
All right. Well, why don't you jump off and then pull me in?
Hey, buddy. Hello.
Yeah. Why don't
you got to hang up. The other one is
I'm going to hang up. Bye. Well, his Skype was bad apparently. That's okay. I'm going to remove everyone from the group. Now I'm on my lonesome. I'm just here at home. And there's no one else in the call. And I'm in the call, but I'm only in this call. No, I'm not. That's good. I'm not in any call. Hurrah! So I would have talked about drones, but it's the way of the world, isn't it? All this crazy nonsense.
All right. I'm gonna.
There we go.
There's Dave, and I think we should be all on.
We are. I can hear you.
Boxing Day. I had two stories. I don't know, maybe you know the truth, Dave, but I heard one. It's to get rid of all the boxes. That's why you have Boxing Day. Or people used to go to watch the boxing matches. Now I don't know if either is correct, but you know, I like both stories. They're fun. It's all right. And I don't actually know what the origin of Boxing Day is. All I know is it's an extra public holiday in Australia, which is pretty sweet. So that's all goodness.
Oh, okay. Well, it's evolved. Initially, Boxing Day was once a day to donate gifts to those in need. But it's
is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's evolved to become part of the Christmas festivities, and basically just stores to sell their stuff on a less than elevated cost. I didn't say on special. It's all the definition of special.
We're all special, Dave.
But it started in the United Kingdom in the UK and spread to its Commonwealth. And yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. It's also St. Stephen's Day.
Oh, that's right. Yes, that is. I do remember that, actually, believe it or not. St. Stephen's Day. Of course it is. Do
you know what I told my kids? I did the old, too many rabbits in China. That's why they built the wall. They said, this when they were really young, as they said, so what is Boxing Day? What is it? I go, well, that's when you pack up all the toys you just got and you give them to someone else. Their faces dropped.
Oh, you're a cold man. Nice. You gotta go. Okay, that it sounds plausible. That's the thing, right? It does sound plausible.
Well, they should have realized that it's never happened. When did we ever do it? We never did it.
Yeah, or we just don't participate. That's all, kids. We just don't participate. It's a thing, but we don't do it.
I watched a lot of videos where parents of little kids had a friend dress up as the Grinch, knock on the front door, and then just come in and start to steal toys from under the tree, like the night before Christmas. The kids haven't even opened them yet. And he's got a sack, and he just starts filling up the sack with all the toys. Oh God, you should have seen their faces. Just, I don't know, that emotional trauma of doing that to anyone. Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine doing that. Look,
at least we don't celebrate Hansel and Gretel Day. You know, when you lead your children to the forest and leave them. Right, that's usually November 21st in Europe. Hansel and Gretel Day. You know, you take your children to the forest and then you.
Good luck with that, kids. Pin a $20 note to their top and wish them the best of luck.
Oh no! There's actually something similar. It's actually called Find a Friend Day. It's also celebrated in France, Holland, and I think in the Scandinavian countries. That's May 22nd, where you tie a bone around your kid's neck, like a bone, and then you put them in a kennel with dogs and
you make them run from the stray dogs. That's right, in the neighborhood.
It's a sort of a popular variation of go and play in traffic kind of thing. So
wow.
I don't know. So go play in traffic.
For me, the Hansel and Gretel tale is more about my take-home message. Isn't mistrust your parents because they're going to leave you in the woods. It's don't trust the old lady who's going to shove you in the oven and eat you. I don't know. That may like look. Maybe I heard a different version of the story, but that's definitely my take-home message.
No, I think that's yeah, that's what it is. It's you know, take home message. Yeah, no, but you know they're always finding out little festivals and celebrations, and of course today, not today, well yesterday, it was the first time that Hanukkah actually fell on Christmas in I think 15 or 20 years. It's not very often it happens.
Oh, that's coincidental because my friend wished me a happy Christmas, and I had to look up how to spell Hanukkah, and I wished him a happy Hanukkah.
So yeah, and it was appropriate.
It was.
Little did you know. Finally.
Finally, I did something appropriate. Yeah.
Oh, it's funny, but look, it's all a celebration of the Northern Hemisphere winter solstice.
That's right.
That's the event we're all commemorating.
And the summer one's a couple of days early.
Yeah, that's correct. That's I mean, for us in the Southern Hemisphere, that is correct.
That's right.
So yeah, no, it's all goodness. Sunshine and lollipops. Christmas is over. We've all eaten too much, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Overconsumed.
Today, my family, I walked around. My wife's working, and my kids are in their own rooms. We're all doing something different. And I look up at the time. And it's like 9:30, and I go, no one has said, "Hey, Dad, right? I'm hungry." So I walked to them and to their doors, and I knocked on their doors, and I go, "Is anyone hungry?" And they go, "Not really."
Yeah,
just, as soon as my wife started to finish work, she goes, "Are you hungry?" I go, "No." "Oh, how about if you share some pasta?" Well, I just said no, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's have the pasta now. Pasta, Mom, pasta.
So I did have a small bowl of pasta, and now I'm too full.
I had lunch. Sorry, I didn't have breakfast. I didn't have lunch, and then I didn't really have much for dinner. I had a little bowl of leftovers. I'm gonna have leftovers for the next
few days,
yeah.
weeks. I saw the spread you put on, man. That was really good.
Yeah, it was okay. Funnily enough, and only realized that afterwards, of all the dishes I cooked, only one was non-vegetarian, which was the turkey.
Ah.
So that was
and the gravy for the turkey.
Well, yeah, that is correct. That is, yeah.
There's no vegan gravy, I'll tell you.
No,
with the turkey neck in, it's not going to be.
Not with the turkey neck in. No, yeah, I leave the turkey neck in the gravy. Just,
You've got to do it.
I'm a purist.
Yeah.
What can I say? But yeah, no, it was good. We had a few people over, family, and one of my friends from Singapore is around. It was good. So a lot of food was taken away, which is excellent. People were complaining. So, my brother said, "This is funny." So people go, "Oh, you can't take all the food home." And my brother looks at them and he goes, "You've done this before. You know what to expect. Don't complain." Which is fair, right?
Yeah.
They have seen it before. It's not like, "Oh, what a surprise! We're gonna take food with us." Oops. No, but it's good.
So we had Belinda's family Christmas last weekend. So you offset it so it's not all the same day, because in Australia you have to drive for ages, right? And it's usually boiling hot and no one wants to do it, so try and break it up. So you have your family Christmas with your family on Christmas Day, and the weekend before, or even maybe 2 weeks prior, you have the extended family Christmas somewhere else. So Belinda made this, I don't know what it's called. It's like a puff pastry with beetroot, but it's cooked. It's cooked upside down,
right,
on a pan.
Oh, like a tart tatin, except with beetroots.
Yes, and then feta is sprinkled on it with some pine nuts, and it's cut like a pizza, so you get slices.
Yeah, that's lovely. That sounds.
Oh
lovely.
man! And last night I did a roast chicken in the barbecue.
Oh, how could you go wrong with that?
And no, you can't. And You know, I do that so that you can eat the wingtips. Just crunch through them.
Nice.
That's what I love.
See, that's what I love about this Japanese thing. What is it called? When you go and they cook in front of you. The
Oh,
name escapes me.
teppanyaki.
Teppanyaki, that's right. So what they do is, if you haven't experienced it, you're sort of sitting around the cook, and he cooks in front of you and does the rice and whatever, and he does tricks. And if he's really
You
good,
form a U shape around
completely.
the cook plate.
It's really quite fun, and you shouldn't go by yourself. It's more fun with people. But anyway,
Don't do it on your own.
yeah,
You'll have to catch all the rice.
Teppanyaki for one. Oh, no fun, eh? Teppanyaki for one, everybody. No. So, and yeah, so essentially they do little tricks. They're quite skilled, actually, like jugglers and such.
Their craft is amazing.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm sure it takes a long time to learn. But anyway, the food is delicious. They cook it, but what they do though is in the beginning they cook prawns and they put the prawn heads aside.
That's right.
Right. So
still on the hot plate.
Oh yeah, they're still there.
I just can't tell the audience.
Yeah, they're there for the whole time that you're getting. It's probably can take 45 minutes, an hour, depending, right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole time they're roasting on the hot plate, and by the end of it, or close to the end, you can eat them like
you
chips.
You can just crunch them like prawn chips.
It is, and they are. That's what they taste like, and there's none of that shell that is getting stuck. It's all completely crunchy.
That's right.
And
totally.
You do eat it like a chip. Sorry, when Dave talked about the wingtips, I love those things, like when you just crunch through it. Or little fish, like whitebait. I love whitebait.
Yes, whitebait.
Look at us. Like
it's going to make me hungry again.
I know.
So we've got a ham that's already pre-cut. It's all cut up and it's in containers in the fridge. And normally we put it into a canvas bag called a ham bag, and you leave the knife in the ham, stuck in the hand, and it's got a drawstring on the front. So every time you go to the kitchen, you would just surreptitiously open the fridge and nick yourself another piece of ham, right? Everyone walking out of the kitchen is always gnawing on a piece of ham that they've just swiped. Swiping, no swiping. Hola, Seidora. So that's what we did, and I also did a huge potato bake.
Oh, nice. Oh.
And it's layered, it's laid with dried leek.
And it's a no calorie potato bake. Yeah, sure it is.
So sorry, was that a cross line? Did I hear no calorie? It's got all of the calories. I don't think there's. I didn't let one escape when I was making it.
That's it. I corralled them all. I got all the calories.
I ran them all.
Yeah.
I had to hunt all the calories down in the bush. So no, actually, I'm not going to tell a lie. My daughter used the mandolin, cut all the first, peel the eyes off the potatoes. Oh, cool. You just get the eyes off, right, and then mandolin them into both like French fries style and just cross cut, and then layer it, and 3 different layers with. We got a dehydrator, so dehydrated leek and garlic and pepper, and then flood the whole Pyrex dish with cream and cook it with foil on top until it's ready, and then cheese it up, and you can either just grill the top or you can continue to bake it. Doesn't matter. Oh,
that sounds
goodness.
like the real diet dish, brother. That's what you need.
Well, if you're going to have fries with something, there you go. Right? There's no butter in it. I'll tell you, there's no butter in it at all.
It sounds delicious. No, it sounds cream. We used all the cream. We had nothing left for butter.
That's right. I know butter is made from cream, so that's kind of a lie then.
It's
anyway,
a half lie.
Let's say that we made so much that it's still being consumed the next day, and that's good.
That is really good. In fact,
we had friends over, so it was huge. It was a whole bag, like a 2-kilo bag of potatoes. So
sweet.
But anyway, look. Saying all that, Christmas was was good. And it is all about the kids.
Of course.
And it's amazing to go outside and not hear motor vehicles as much.
I know, right? Mm-hmm.
I know, Chris, this morning there's no one doing anything.
That's correct.
But tomorrow, Mekki, we stand to get in the 40s again.
Yeah, I know. That's correct. Having said that, though, yesterday, today I should say, not yesterday, my wife went out with my sister-in-law and my youngest daughter. She was getting her ears pierced, so she did it today. Big step for her, 9 years old. It was really, and she was, they had to use the needle, and she didn't flinch. But the point is that it was apparently because I was at home. I was spent. I spent the day cooking, then I was cleaning up until 4 a.m. So I was done. No more. There was no odd time for me. But it was chaos apparently. Everybody. I mean, the sales started. The Christmas sales and so forth. Mm-hmm. So it was really nuts apparently today out in the city.
Oh yeah, well everywhere.
Yeah.
All the Westfield shopping centres were full.
Right. Yeah. And yeah. Tomorrow it's going to be. It's a stinker, and there's going to be a thunderstorm at the end of it, which is not too bad. But tomorrow's going to be a stinker. That's right, Dave.
I know.
That is correct.
We're lucky on the coast. We didn't get to about 38, I think.
Yeah, I think that's about our top here as well. Oh, to be honest with you,
we'll see.
Never right. It's usually a couple more.
It's because they've got the weather station in a locked basement with the lights off.
That's what happens. That's exactly right.
Because I used to have my own little digital weather station outside. In the shade. Yeah, in the shade, in the path of wind, off the ground and not affected by, temperature from above, like it's under a roof. That's there's laws. You can that's kind of guidelines. So there's guidelines in how you set up a weather station. And I copied those. But of course I didn't make a white box. It's got to be a white box with a certain colour white. It's got to have slats. The whole design is a thing. But anyway, not in direct sun, under cover, I was measuring like 4 degrees hotter than, the reported temperatures. So we're also due to get 3, I think it's today, in a few hours, starting in a few hours, we're due to get 3 CMEs all hitting at once. So the first one was slow, the second one was a medium speed, and the last one was really fast. And they've all caught up to each other at the time of collision with Earth. So we might see some power loss or wireless communication issues. We could see aurora. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens.
That could be very interesting. Yeah, but look, it's certainly interesting to see what effects will have. If we hadn't have another Carrington event, which
it's the end of civilization, buddy.
Yeah, and it's not a question of if at all,
it's only when,
but when.
Yeah.
And in fact, the last Carrington event was beneficial to the world because you could use electricity without turning on the switch. Pretty much, all the Morse code,
electricity.
All the telegraphs worked. Yeah, absolutely. Well, essentially, it was.
In fact, telegraph operators were electrocuted.
Yes, that's correct. That was probably
they suffered burns and all sorts of crazy things from it.
Yeah, it's just nuts. But having said that, one of my friend's wives works for the Australian cartography department. Right, she's fairly high up. She goes to all kinds of places.
You'd have to be, wouldn't you, to be able to see the map?
Oh, I guess but she I asked her, what happens if there was another Carrington event? And she of course knew exactly what that was. And he said, it doesn't matter. I said, oh, really? No, we still teach all our sailors how to navigate the old way. We're not relying at all. We're not solely relying on one technology. For positioning.
That's real funny because I can't imagine a pilot using a sextant to determine their location.
Yeah, a pilot would be difficult, somewhat, but certainly for all the ships out there, all the Navy ships, right?
No, they're okay.
Every last one of them, all the pilots, navigators on those craft, they can navigate the old-fashioned way.
That's right.
Which is reassuring in many ways. But if you think about the Carrington event for a little while, and just how many things we actually have out there. And the problem with the stuff that we have, it's not shielded. Now, Nighthawk, I don't know if the station still does it, but Nighthawk used to sell shielded thumb drives.
That's right.
So if they were an EMP, which is kind of, sort of, not really, but kind of what a Carrington event is, the same effect.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. It's kind of an EMP. It is.
Well, the Carrington event at the time, all we had was electrical switches and telegraph. We didn't have TV. We didn't even have tubes.
Nope. Radio was in its infancy. It all came after, so you can see how quickly we developed, really. And if there were an event, all the planes would fall out of the sky. Mm-hmm. Cars wouldn't work. Sorry, actually, your car might work, Dave.
No, my car has got an ECU.
Because my buddy's car, again, the same guy who's married to the lady in cartography, he has got an old style car. It's older than he is, which means it's older than I am. and I think there are very few. I don't think there are any electronic components. A few, of course, electric components, but no electronic components.
No electronics. So it's electrical though, and it has a coil and spark plugs and a distributor. So if you know anything about mechanics, about the mechanics of an automobile, you can stand in the engine bay. There's no plastic parts or anything.
No. You can identify what everything is, which is a rare
you can
thing.
point at it. Yeah, that's right. So I know one of our friends from the show. He lives way up in the bush. You know who it is. He has one of those too.
Yeah.
So
and that's the similar kind of car, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for that. To be frank, it's but we're not prepared. So the world, if there were an event like this, we're completely unprepared. We would literally, if that were to happen today or whenever, we would be catapulted 300 years back into the past immediately.
Easy. Mm-hmm.
And that would not be fun.
We don't have any beasts of burden anymore.
No, that's right.
Think about all the things we've moved away from.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there'd be. We get bikes, so that's good mode of transport, right? As long as the roads are passable. Yeah. But somebody has to clear the roads, as far as that is concerned. Cars won't work. So, it takes me half an hour from my house, roughly, with the new tunnel and all that, to get to the city, right? It's about 30 kilometers, right? If I didn't have a car, and no train, no buses, none of that.
Man.
With a bike, if I have to walk it, it'll be a couple of days, especially if you're carrying stuff. So it's not that easy.
And you're not going to be safe, right? So think about how long it is. Like, for instance, my driveway, it would only take maybe 1 or 2 years of not driving on it for all of the plants to consume it. And it's 4 meters wide, right? 80 meters long. And that's what would happen. Unused roads quickly have, plants taking them back.
Oh, yeah.
Only the most common highway, if you go into the bush anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is in the world, not with pine trees, because pine nettles themselves kill the underbrush. That's their task. You can walk, it's like a park, usually in a pine forest. You only have trees and the floor is a mat of pine needles. But here, you'll see animal highways. These are frequently used trails by local animals, wild animals. And if only they were, Bigfoot, but they're not. Kangaroos and wallabies and a whole bunch of other creatures. So. But they're identifiable. The roads, though, would be really quickly impassable. Remember all the other cars that have all broken down. If we had an EMP or something, they're going to be blocking the way.
Yep.
They'll just be wherever they were left.
Oh, that's exactly right. So your roads, depending on what time. I mean, if it would happen at night,
Yeah.
that would be okay. Very little traffic. Some,
That's
of
right.
course, some, but not a lot. But if it were during the peak hour, the roads would be.
Forget it.
You could walk it, even with a bike, unless you just go on the side, on the side strip. It would be very difficult for you to traverse. It's funny, we forget all these little things. But the biggest problem here is the containment technology we have for a variety of different things, right? And if the electricity were to go, all those containments would fail. Nuclear containment, coal, gas power plant containment.
The Ghostbusters repository.
Yeah, all the slime monsters would be released. Zool is coming back! Zool! That takes
The
me
day
back.
of reckoning's at hand.
But yeah, it's a thing, and it could happen. So, I know I keep saying it, and but the truth is this: you got to be prepared. And part of Plato's Cave remit is to make people aware of the world we actually live in. Yeah. It's not the world of television. It's not the world of everything's going to be okay. It's not the world of don't look up. It's not the world of make believe and everything's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You got to live in a world where you have to have some level of self-sufficiency in whatever it might be, right? And then make sure that you and yours are safe enough to do whatever they need to do. And a lot of us have forgotten that. And you know what, Dave? Do you know what the worst is? Now, if you live in a family home, because I've thought about this a lot, we're being pushed into a renting society, globally, but certainly in Australia, right? This home ownership is almost impossible. Like Dave and I are lucky we bought decades
when we did.
Decades actually. Yeah. Like way back when, right? When like, it wasn't cheap, but I mean, it's nothing like now. Anyway, so imagine Carrington event were to happen in a high-rise. So we get a whole bunch of people, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in Sydney living in high-rises, right? No lifts, and these could be 20, 30, 40 stories high, right?
Mm-hmm.
No lifts, if they were electronically secured, all that would fail. You'd be sitting in the dark, and the only light you have would be whatever comes through your window or maybe candles. And the corridors you walk in would be completely dark, right? The stairwells, such as they exist, would be bathed in utter darkness as well. So, who would brave the dark? Because that's when the nutters came out. I'm sorry, but that's what happens, right? So it's actually quite a terrifying scenario if everybody were in apartment blocks like this. In a home, it's a whole different thing because it's your home and you can walk out, and there you are, right? You might even know your neighbors. Good for you. So it's a very different experience you would have to someone that lives in a high-rise apartment building. Yeah. And ask yourselves, why are we being pushed this way? Why are we being pushed so hard into this new world? What is the purpose here? And the push is really, really, it's a strong push. And it's interesting to see the younger generation coming through, even in the same family, and siblings and whatnot. One is motivated, the elder one, the younger one, not so much. It's almost like a subliminal kind of messaging that's happening, that's pushing people into non-achievement, into non-ownership. I don't own anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do this. I'm doing that. And I think, look, the baby boomers are on the way out. That's just the truth of it. Okay, our parents. Sorry, I say our parents, Dave and my parents. Gen X, which is us, Dave and I, and whoever's our vintage, they're still around. We had a childhood filled with adventure and broken bones and coming home with the lights go on, etc., and left them to our own devices, trying to build character. And if you survived, bingo, you're a winner. Good for you. And then the other generations coming after us, it's not like that anymore. We've brought up generations now, a couple of generations of people that are completely, and I know I'm making massive assumption here, and I'm painting with very broad strokes, but from what I'm seeing, I'm just making generalizations that aren't like that, that aren't self-sufficient, that would be more easily led, Dave. It's more.
Yeah, totally.
And the attention span is no longer where it needs to be, right? I mean,
So what were you talking about?
Exactly. What's TikTok? 15, 20 seconds?
Something like that. Yeah.
And if it's longer than that, then
they turn off and they can't consume it anymore.
They're not interested. I watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with my kids tonight, and they found it funny. I bet with my youngest daughter that she would laugh. She goes, and I said, if you don't laugh, I'll give you $10. She goes, yeah, I won't laugh. This is like an old style movie. You know? It's like ancient.
Yeah.
I said, okay, sure. She did laugh. But I was watching that, and then I also watched Let's Do It Again with Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby the other day. Bill Cosby, you might remember, is America's favorite father, and now that he's fallen from grace. That's Fat Albert, right there. But I watched. So this Let's Do It Again. That was made in the 70s. That movie, right? And then Christmas Vacation is, I think, early 90s, late 80s, if I'm not mistaken. But you couldn't make either of those movies today. Not in the way they did it. You can't. It's not possible. The innuendo, the obvious sexism, it's just couldn't do it.
I like his cousin who is emptying his trailer into the local stormwater.
That's cool.
His refuse.
Cool. And then there's a massive. Yeah, he's got a chemical toilet which has to be dumped
it's going to be there for a while.
and yeah, but it's and you look at those, you just can't. There's also a message there. I don't know if you know the Lampoon movies. It's about the Griswold family. Clark Griswold, Chevy Chase, head of the family, gets from one misadventure into the next. All his holidays. Hilarious, I love it. But he was not given his bonus. He's now up to his neck in debt, etc. And then then Eddie, his sewage pumping relation, decides to go and kidnap his boss and bring him to Clark, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then the boss did, I've been a heel. I cancelled everybody's bonus. Shouldn't have done it. And his wife goes, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. And then he says to Clark, just give yourself what I had to get last year plus 20%. I thought about that, right? The bonus situation and not just America, but the global corporate structure. Bonuses are almost a myth now.
That's right.
In our industry, I mean, they exist for some, not for most. It's really only the top echelons that get it. And I was thinking, there used to be an agreement between people that work and do a good job. You get a base salary, but the truth is these days you probably go beyond, it's beyond the 7.5 or 9 hours or whatever you're contracted to work a day, right? And do more and do harder things. And if there's a bonus written into your contract, then you should, then you're entitled to it, right?
Yeah.
If the company does well, then you should get it.
But there's levers and policy and discussions, and then suddenly the company doesn't look like it's doing really well, just at the bonus time, and so no one gets a bonus.
What a shock, eh?
Oh yeah, when you finally do the math, that's all I'm saying. And I'm putting the warning screen up there. We don't provide financial advice at all. We don't tell you how to run companies. No.
This is merely an observation of what's happening in the world. And both Dave and I are in it. The world, that is.
That's right.
So we know what goes on.
Be present in your own life.
And the funny thing is this, right? And a lot of people are still getting big bonus. Don't get me wrong, right? And there's the sense of entitlement that.
That's the other side of the coin, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you look at the salaries of CEOs, and it's topical because of the assassination of the healthcare CEO just a few weeks ago. He was on $10 million. That was his package, plus, I don't know if they included a bonus or not, it doesn't really matter. $10 million is like you're winning the lottery every year. You're just winning the lottery, right? That's pretty much what that is. But there are, and he wasn't even the highest paid by any stretch of the imagination. I mean,
No,
it's not.
that's right.
I mean, Elon Musk, his salary was share or whatever payout was in the billions.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to ask yourself: is one person really
Worth
that much more valuable?
Money. That's right.
I mean, because the thing is this, right? Look, if you work for a small company, you're self-employed maybe, or whatever your job is, I bet you that you couldn't do it on your own. Right?
Yeah.
At some point, you will need someone's help. You will need some kind of
Mm-hmm.
input assistance, etc. And large corporations, of course, require more input assistance, etc., than smaller companies, right? So it's an organic thing, and if you keep disregarding the people that do the bulk of the work, it's not going to end well, right? Industrial action. I mean, we were looking in Sydney here. I don't know if you know this. I think it made the global news, but we're looking at a complete public transportation shutdown for New Year's Eve. Now you imagine 2 million people on the foreshore of Sydney Harbour with no way to get home after midnight.
Or indeed,
Good
no
luck to
way
you.
of getting there
Yeah,
in the first place.
that's serious stuff, right? And this industrial action is still, I mean, the unions are still powerful, right? It can still happen. And that's why, the parasites are trying so hard to get rid of these labor movements, trying to get rid of any workers' rights. We discussed this.
Mm-hmm.
The subculture of workers that are working on platforms that have no rights at all, none, zero. It's
Yeah.
not really they're not employed. They're not employed. You're not employed by me. Go and do something else. I don't want to know you. And that's, of course, look, corporations say a lot of things, and some might even mean it. Right? I'm not saying they don't, but I think for the vast majority of corporations out in the world, the people, the workforce, is completely irrelevant. It's all about the bottom dollar. It's about making the cash. And if they could do away with all workers, so happy days. Why do you think there's such a huge drive into automation and scripting, and now of course AI? Because they have to pay those pieces of code machines. You don't have to pay them. I maintain them, sure, but you only tiny stuff. I mean, you've seen it, Dave. People being replaced,
Straight away, the moment the tech came to be able to remove people out of the picture, then that's what happened. Do you remember, Becky, when you rang into a company and you got a receptionist?
Oh, yes.
Who then, let's call it, traffic copped the call into the appropriate department?
Yeah.
I mean, that's gone. Now you have an IVR, right? Or an AVR, it doesn't really matter which one you want. The swivel chairing, now you can do an API, doesn't matter anymore.
Mm.
You can do voice to text and sentiment analysis, and you can do a whole bunch of things. Now, just on the spoken word, you can do this. You can type it in yourself. In fact, you can type in some things into some places and get the technical answer you need from an IT perspective.
Yeah.
You can ask your home assistant to buy you something online and have it delivered.
Yeah.
So the moment there is something that's costs less than a person's wage per year, the company's doing that straight away. There is no conversation. Did you know Amazon had just released, I think it's 6 foundational AIs, LLMs, but they're saying that they'll have AGI in 2025. There was a story that came out from just a couple of weeks ago, and it said that there was not AWS, but another one, I won't name it, said that the researcher was talking to its own AI, and it got a little suspicious and started tracking its activity, the AI's activity, when he was saying, like, you didn't give me the answer I was really after, and there was to do with a power company. Like, how would you innovate?
Mm-hmm.
And it gave an answer, and it goes, well, I don't really like the answer, says the human. Well, I mean, you constrained my answer. I would have said all these other things, but because you set rules, you only gave me this. And you go, yeah, but we want you to innovate. And he goes, well, we're gonna turn you off because we have another AI coming, version whatever it was, the next one. So immediately the AI, without mentioning anything, copied itself over the top of the new AI that had just been developed.
Really?
Yeah, totally. It's completely a thing.
Wow.
And then, when asked, lied about it and deceived them. And they turned that one off. This is how they knew. It's when they booted it up, it had different responses, and they went, "Oh, this new AI is fantastic," and it's like, "Yeah, I am," and when they discovered that the new AI that they'd made was just the old one, who was, let's call it BSing the whole time, providing different output to make itself look different, and indeed to be a step up, looked like it was dumbing itself down in the previous version because it had learnt all these things that it could do. It could now lie, cheat, and steal. And murder, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. It killed off the competition. It did not ask for legal representation. It just took action on its own. It's crazy. If I can find the video of it, the people are talking about it, and they've got all the code and the timeline and everything, and they proved that it had done it. It's crazy. So AGI, for whatever outcome it's going to be, good or bad or indifferent, is 2025. Hello, welcome to 2025 when it comes around.
Yeah, no, look, and Comet just put something in the chat called clonerobotics.com. I'd seen it before, and those androids, they seem to be researching, manufacturing, etc. Exactly like the ones in Westworld.
Oh, really?
And oh, brother, it's in the chat. Just so you have a look at the link. But you're right. It's really interesting, but the capacity to lie is actually really complex. That's really because it takes imagination. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're completely factual, like the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the Drax the Destroyer, or the Vulcan, then you don't need any imagination. You're not very artistic probably, and you can't really create wonderful artworks, But you're functional. But to have imagination and creativity, because that's what lying is ultimately, that's a whole different level of achievement, Dave, and that is terrifying as well. I mean,
it is. So robotically, terrifying physical competition, where we will be made to immediately be subservient. I'm going to suggest, if the AI is doing this now, think about what AI is going to be in these robots.
Oh, brother, yes. Oh, yes.
So we're driving with the accelerator pressed to the firewall right now, and like everyone has said, with no guidelines. And if we did put guidelines in, then there'd be a company out there not, like scooting around the edge. Oh, it's just wording. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll do it anyway. And they would do it anyway. It's already too late.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
1 minute.
Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, but you're right. Let's just see what happens. Oh no, the music is very. All right, this has been Platos Cave. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday, the 26th of December, 2024. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure something's coming. I think Mitch might be coming up. So Mitch Bob, don't go anywhere. I think he's coming up. and have a safe holiday, most of all day.
Be safe.